This here is Bob. He just shot his first short film, but he has no idea how to edit. Well, Bob, you're about to find out. Okay, so after you open up your project, the first thing you have to do is import media. There are 3 ways to do this. You can either push here, and then you can just find your file at wherever you may put it. You can push Command I and do the same thing, or you can open up the File tab and push Import Media. You can also drag and drop your media just straight onto the timeline from your desktop. Okay, so I'm going to have a list of all the shortcuts down in the description below, so don't worry about memorizing them now because you can just go and read them down there later. Now, if you didn't just drag and drop straight onto the timeline, you just grab your footage from here and just drag it on. On your timeline, you can see how long your video is. You can zoom in to your clip so then you can see it up closer. And you can trim and cut all this footage. So, if you want to trim it, you can just drag like this just to cut out like a little bit near the end if you have a little by the end you don't want. If you want to split it, which is cut, you can either right click and push split, or you can push Command B. If you want to delete, just push the delete key. If you want to copy something and paste it somewhere else, you can push Command C. And then go wherever you want to paste it and push Command V. Okay, let's say you deleted this and you wanted it back. To undo, you push Command Z. And if you decided that you really do want to get rid of it and like you want to redo what you just undid, you can just push Shift Command C. So, how's it going? Okay, so when you're editing your audio, the first thing you want to do is you want to detach your audio. So just right click and push detach audio, or you can push Command Option B. You can change the volume of your clip by dragging this up or down, or you can go to the audio tab up here and change it through this little bar. If you want your audio to fade in or out, you just come down here, find this little dot thing, you grab it, and you can just drag it, and this bar is your volume over time. You can do that on this end as well. Okay, if you want to add music, you can either import your music the same way you imported footage, or you can go to audio and video and go to your music, and it will show all your songs and like whatever you have in your music library. Or you can go to sound effects and go to theme music, and it has like 5 very simple songs here, but they work for some things for sure. You can drag it either below your sound or into the whole music tab. If you wanted to lower the volume of the music while this clip is talking, you would click on the clip you want to keep loud, go to your audio, and push lower volume of other clips. Then you can drag this to see how extreme you want it to be. If you have a lot of background noise like buzzing in the background, you can push reduce background noise, but it will kind of warp your audio, so you have to be careful with this. And this is how extreme you want it to be.
You can also change your audio effects. So if you go over here, you click audio effect, and you can choose any of these.
iMovie has a full library of sound effects. So if you go in here, there are a bunch of different sections, or you can just click sound effects. If you wanted to add more audio effects and you don't think you have enough room, just drag it underneath and you can like go really far down. Now, if you wanted to add text onto your video, you would just go over to titles and you can choose any of these and you just drag them on top of the video where you want them. You can make them longer or shorter by grabbing right here and dragging it out or in. If you wanted to change the text, you click on this little purple thing and then you go over here and you click on the text you want to change and you type whatever you want. Now, if you need a blank background, I use them sometimes at the end of my short films. You go over to backgrounds and you can choose any of the ones they have. If you want to transition, you just go over to the transition tab and then you drag and drop it in between the 2 clips you want the transition to be. If you wanted to make the transitions longer or shorter, you click on the transition and then you right click. You have to get it yellow. And then you right click and you push show precision editor. And then you can drag it in or out depending on what you want. Let's say we want it to be really long, so we'll go out. And then you close precision editor when you're done. Let's say you had some B-roll you wanted to add. So first, I'm just going to use this clip. You drag it on top of your main clip. So then it will cut to that other clip. If you wanted it to be a picture-in-picture, you just come over here and click picture-in-picture, and you can change a lot of these options. They're pretty self-explanatory. Here there are some like transition things. If you wanted the picture-in-picture to swap with the actual one that's going on, you could just do this and it will swap in. You can also do split screen. And if you have a green screen clip, you just drag it on top, click it, go green/blue screen. And sometimes you have to change some of these settings. Now, let's say you wanted to crop your clip. You would just go into this little cropping section and you can do crop to fit, and then you can just crop it however you want. To make it move across the screen, you would click Ken Burns, and you can see the start and end. So the start of the clip will be like this, and then it'll end like that. You can change orientation of your clips by clicking this button. So if you want it upside down, sideways, you can just change it that way. Now, if you have shaky footage, like you're walking and you don't have like stabilize or anything, you can click on your clip and go stabilize shaky video. And it sometimes takes a while because it has to analyze your dominant motion. Now, if you wanted to speed up your footage or slow it down, you would go to this little time thing and you could go slow, fast, or custom. If you do fast, you can do all these different options. Slow, same thing. And then custom means you can just type in whatever percent you want. The last thing we have to go over is color correction. So you can just come over to this tab. You can change saturation with this. You can change color temperature with this. To be honest, if I'm doing this, I just kind of mess around with it until I get a look I like. I don't mess with this one too much because it's very complicated and I don't really understand it. Now, how's it gone? Probably should have shown you how to turn on your computer first. If you want to see if an experienced filmmaker with an iPhone can beat a beginner with a DSLR, click this video next.